We want to emphasize that the Children's Television Workshop is an experiment. Research is woven into the total fabric of the show. Every segment is being tested and evaluated by the toughest critics of all, the children themselves.
13.
14.
The job is helping children reach their highest potential. We're always looking to identify what are the critical educational needs of children.
Let's hear you sing the alphabet.
A, B, C.
One example, because we have a literacy crisis that our country has been facing for a while.
We've worked with the military on a whole series of shows dedicated to those families and those families' needs.
We're in over 150 countries internationally. Programs focus on girls' education, specific health initiatives to mutual respect and understanding.
The needs of children are constantly changing. The show is always evolving. That's one of the main reasons why we're still around 40 some odd years later.
Today, we are launching the Educate to Innovate campaign, a nationwide effort to help reach the goal this administration has set, moving to the top in science and math education in the next decade.
I remember reading the Times and going, we have to teach this. I mean, we're so far behind.
Sesame Street has a new mission this season to help American children catch up with the rest of the world in math and science.
One of the first things that we do in an initiative is bring a bunch of experts around the table and really hear from them how to best address this issue with children.
If they learn a very simple cognitive skill set that we've been talking about, they gain a measure of control.
When we enter a country internationally, what's really key to our success is that we're working with local partners.
Once we get informed by these content advisors, we revise the curriculum and then we start creating content. Now, with our STEM curriculum, we know that children learn through failures.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math, all sort of in one discipline. Like, okay, this is a subject we don't know about. Like, how are we supposed to teach it to a 3-year-old? I know my letter Q. That's easy. But it's problem solving is what we found out.
I just had my hair done, and now I can't get down from here. You see, I'm a cow, and cows can't walk downstairs.
With Super Grover 2.0, we are actually modeling the processes of STEM, but we're also giving children the language of these concepts.
Oh, I think you just made a ramp, Super Grover.
So what's a ramp?
It's working.
What's a lever? What's a pulley?
We're trying to understand what children know before they're exposed to our content.
Can you tell me what a hypothesis is?
That's a tricky one.
Say like Super Grover. We ask them a whole bunch of questions about particular topics, and then we'll show them some content that addresses that particular subject.
How will we ever get this heavy piano up to our nest?
And what we try to do is make sure that the educational message is embedded in what's funny. Then after they watch, we want to see what they learned from the content.
And how did he get it up?
The pulley.
That's STEM education for a preschool audience.
We did it!
We don't just say we're an educational company that makes educational media, we prove it.
There are more studies on Sesame Street than any other television show. And for the 40 plus years that we've been around, lots of academic researchers have been focusing on what we're doing here, but we don't rest on those laurels. We make sure that with each new initiative that we're delivering on what we're promising.
We know in our hearts that that's working, but it's also really nice to have evidence from the academic community that's really showing an effect.
No other program works as hard as we do to make sure that its content is relevant to the lives of children.
It's all right.
It's entertaining to these children.
This stop sign is an octagon!
But as they're entertained, they're learning. And that's what one of our founders, Joan Gans Cooney, wanted from the very beginning.